Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where last episode we discovered some— ooh, hello. I didn't mean to zoom in over here. Hello, autosave. This is great. Okay, we discovered a slightly awkward situation where this whole thing is the Republic of Algeria. I didn't realize that, but there's this impassable border here that we can't cross. Not right now, anyway. I'm going to try declaring on them anyway and see what happens, but problems could ensue. And I guess we'll see how those problems ensue. I also think that we should begin recruiting some paratroopers. Now, this division is garbage. Absolute garbage. And let's see here. What do we want for paratroopers? I need to think about this. They need to move quickly. They need to move without supplies. Which probably means that, let's see here, reconnaissance is scouting ahead and anticipating the enemy. Logistics companies would be great for the supply use. Does this also give— no, this doesn't give out of supply grace period. But we still probably want a logistics company there. And let's see here. Max speed is 4 kilometers per hour, no matter what recon company goes in. I'm leaning towards doing motorized because we aren't currently making any armored cars. So something like that. Engineers would allow us to do the breakthrough and the defense. Both of which would probably be pretty important here. And then maybe we'd want— let's see here, that's a decent amount of breakthrough and defense with support artillery. We only have 2 here, though, so perhaps we should go for anti-tank and anti-air, just so that we have some amount of anti-air and anti-tank. I don't want these divisions to be huge. I want them to be fairly speedy. And we'll add in maybe something like this. This is 6,900 manpower. Do we want it any bigger than this? I'm guessing no. So we'll go ahead and save that for now. This is probably not ideal. I don't really understand how those systems work. But we're going to get a few units of paratroopers training up. I'm going to do 8. And we're going to set that location to be, say, up here in— oh, this isn't— it has to be in core territory, right. We'll just do it in, like, there. Okay, so that's going to eat up a good chunk of manpower. Is that already good to go? Oh, that already took us manpower. Okay, sounds good. We do have our war goal against Galicia, but I don't want to fight France for it, so we're just going to let that one go for now. That'll be fine. And once we get our paratroopers, they will, of course, go up here, and they'll just do some paratroopery stuff over here, ideally. So when are they going to be done being fully trained? Well, they're going to be done on 19 March 1972, so in a few months. When will this be ready? Actually, almost 100 days. So that'll be ready about 3 months before our paratroopers are. I think I'm reasonably okay with this. Now, we could probably theoretically run some war support. Now, we don't have the political power for it. And we're under the effects of the bug, but we can deal with the bug. That's not a problem. We don't have the political power for it, and if we're going to continue expanding at the rate that we are, we may want to keep our political power the way it is, and instead— just thinking here, we should have these guys forget about frontlining over here. We know we're not going to attack over here right now because they're guaranteed by France, so instead we're going to have them come up here and try a naval invasion, perhaps way on the far side over here, like that. And I want everyone assigned to that. There we go. And we'll get them out of there. That'll free up supplies over here for our attack over here, as well as giving us better options to pull their forces up over this way. Or just take their capital quickly, one or the other. So I think that's going to be a much more solid plan there. We already do have a fleet here doing naval invasion support. So that is wonderful. We control the Strait of Gibraltar now, don't we? No, technically the Russian Federation controls this side. Awkward. Okay. That is very awkward. But I guess that is fine. So how long until that naval invasion is prepared? It'll be done in time, I think. Approximately in time, anyway. So that's great, and what is our current cap of special forces? I'm feeling okay about our naval invasions without Marines so far, but I don't know what our actual special forces cap is. Perhaps we can see that in here? Plus 5%. Uh-huh. That doesn't really say what our paratrooper supply cap would be. Or rather, our paratrooper cap would be for special forces. I guess we'll just let these go and keep recruiting. Eventually, it'll tell us that we can't have more special forces. Wait, do paratroopers count as special forces? The Marines have the special forces, as do the Mountaineers. The icon there, but I'm not sure the paratroopers actually do. Okay, so we're going to lose a little bit of support here, and that is because we didn't actually attack up here. Fair enough. Fair enough. So these guys, they are going to hop into this army, of course. And how are we doing here? We lost 5% fascism popularity, but actually it's still 100%, so that's wonderful. Now we are gaining ourselves some focus here. And what is our construction engineering? Okay, yeah, I'm okay with construction engineering. Suppress subjects is something that is interesting to go for, but not, I think, right now. These guys will hop on into this army. Of course, that needs 79, so we're getting close there. And how are we doing on our recruitments? We're going to have a good batch done soon. Great. And we're getting a little bit better on our steel. Of course, a big part of the reason for that is because we are not currently expanding our number of military factories. If we are to fight against the US, we have 235 military factories right now. What do they have right now? 355 military factories. So yeah, you can see there, they're producing 1567 steel compared to our extraction of 1544 steel. So they still have a little bit of a steel advantage. But overall, we're evening it up very nicely. I'm really enjoying this, like, Cold War proxy war gameplay. I wish that there was a, like, Cold War grand strategy game. That would be really neat. I would love to play that. Where it's mostly, like, political and spy shenanigans. And proxy wars and things like that. That could be really fun. Unfortunately, this is the closest we're going to get to that. And that's basically the situation that we're in right now. So Algeria, we're going to be done justifying on in 39 days. We're going to have a decent number of infantry divisions to ship out on 26 December. And these units of paratroopers, they will be done on 19 March. So not too bad there. Hopefully we'll be able to take this easily enough. Now, if we get pulled into a war with the American Union, what is our plan? Well, our plan is to optimize our garrisons at that time and move any excess units to various fronts where they can hopefully push in and become additional, like, offensive units. Ideally, we don't want that to happen for a while yet. We want to get our Coast Guard maxed out, and of course, maxing out our Coast Guard is a moving target, because we keep conquering more territory, which is good. We want that. And we're still working on bringing up our amount of steel. You can actually see that now we're down to minus 81 steel. So that's going very, very well. We conquered these couple areas of steel over here, and I think it'll all be good. Well, maybe not all good, but it'll be close to all good. Because this is going to eventually produce 52, although reduce that by 25 because of exports, 25%. And then this one is 12. So that's not a lot, but others will continue to come up, and I think with these in the fold, eventually we'll be able to sustain our current steel levels. Eventually. This, of course, is the fundamental problem. We need to take over, like, all of mainland Europe and the Russian Federation before I'm confident in saying, like, if we took this entire block that's not quite connected because of Occitania here, but if we took this entire block from them, then I'd be confident in saying the war is over. But without it, it's tough. These guys aren't, no, they're not currently protected by France. That's good. France does have claims over here, and they have territories nearby. So it wouldn't be shocking if they did decide to protect them. But for right now, they're not, and that is a very good thing indeed. This infantry division can hop into this garrison unit. That's wonderful. We only need another 22 in there. So by the time we're done with this next round of garrison recruitment, that should be done. That's great. And that garrison recruitment will be done quite soon. We have a free military factory. Do we want to throw it anywhere? We could double our anti-air, artillery, and anti-tank productions. That's something that I think I'd be okay with doing. Now, that's not going to happen all at once. We'll have to get additional military factories online for that, but that's okay. Look at that manpower drop. And that is because we just recruited 16 divisions of garrison troops. We're going to toss all of them over here, and we need 6 more for this army to be maxed out. Excellent. Now, I am actually thinking about... No, I'm going to leave this as is at this point. However, I am going to do this. No, I'm not. I'll do it manually. Once these 8 finish their recruitment, I think I'm going to cancel these lines. And these, of course, we're only doing the 1 recruitment, I feel like. I mean, maybe we should do 3. So that way we have a full unit of 24 paratroopers. I guess that's something that we could do. We have exactly 1,000 factories right now, including a damaged military factory. Interesting. Just want to double check these areas. Yep, all is good. Excellent. How's construction over here? Level 10, level 7. This should be plenty to provide us supplies up through here. And that is indeed the case. Excellent. So, I mean, we are continuing away on our production. These constructions are happening quite quickly, in fact. I mean, they should be. We have 658 civilian factories working on this right now. That's kind of insane. With a 45% construction speed boost. So, yeah, that's slightly bonkers. No, they're not ready yet. I really wish we could do more resource prospecting, but unfortunately that's not currently an option. As we conquer more of Africa, it might become an option. Okay, so we can now conquer Algeria. We're going to declare this. And we're going to hope that they don't immediately join the American Union. These guys, they are going to get an offensive line over to here. Not quite like that, though. I don't like that offensive line. I meant for it to be to the coast. Like that. And they will go ahead and launch that. Excellent. They don't appear to be attacking. Go on. There you go. All we're trying to do is tie up these forces right now. This looks unopposed over here. That's great, if so. Yeah, this looks completely unopposed. Indeed it was. So this army here, we are going to go ahead and give them... I want to select all. We're going to go ahead and give them an offensive line of pushing the opposite direction. Just like that. And that's Army 2. In they go. Now, what is their supply situation like? It's a little grim. So we're going to immediately begin work on upgrading this naval base. And do we have access to their infrastructure here? We do, actually. We're going to begin work on that as well. Okay. So we're going to try to expand our hold here as quickly as we can. And that should be just fine. Our naval invasion was no problem. All of our allies want in. And I guess we'll go ahead and call them in. Yeah, that fielded manpower doesn't go up by a ton, does it? The power is basically all in our hands in the faction, and that's ultimately probably a good thing, but that does mean that we have to be capable of dealing with all threats. So that's something to think about. This infantry division can be moved into this force, and of course we need 5 more over here. Excellent. How's our recruitment coming? These guys will be done on 7 February, and these guys on 19 March. Okay. So we are pushing out over here. And how are our supplies looking? We're up to 12 total supply flow over here. I have seen worse, to be sure. We're going to continue to grab territory over here. Ah, we're offloading into a different supply zone here. Now, that has no supply flow right now. And that's something to think about. But once we conquer this victory point, that will change. Yep, there we go. We now have some supply flow over here. And I think we're in a somewhat safe supply situation. Somewhat safe. Now this guy. He's actually just attacking in. Okay, I was wondering why he wasn't doing anything, but he was. I'll just move him back to balanced. He does not need to be on aggressive. These light tank brigades can hop in over here. Now we only need 3 additional divisions for this garrison force. Excellent. Of course, this garrison force, it's going to be extended for all of this North African holdings. And we're just going to continue to push in. The paratroopers aren't going to be done for a while yet. So that's definitely something to think about. But here's 3 units, and that, of course, finishes up this force here. And where are these guys even located? Is this our Spanish defense force? Yeah, this is our Spanish defense force, which is actually only on the coasts. Okay. So we're going to move them over here for now. And these guys, where are they located? This is South Africa. Sure. That requires 59, so we, of course, need more divisions over there. And I do want to stop recruitment on these 4 lines. And we'll wait for these 4 to finish up. Okay, there's that one done. And these last few. Get rid of that one. And that one. And one more to do. 7 February. So that'll be right now. Excellent. So we'll go ahead and do that, and these 5 divisions will hop on in to South Africa. And over they go. Excellent. So we will continue pushing into Algeria here. Well, would you look at that? The victory point for down here, I guess, must be up here somewhere. Occupied by integralist Brazil. I mean, we'll take it. I know I didn't see a victory point down here, but sure. Don't have to worry about that then. Very happy about that one. Okay, so we're going to continue to push in over here. How are we doing supply-wise? Quite well, actually. I do want to check for... Yes, we can construct additional infrastructure over here. And so we shall. Top priority. What about anti-air? It's already maxed out. Radar? Nope, it's not maxed out. Okay. And let's check in on air bases. Of course, we already handled the naval bases. At least in theory. I mean, there's some stuff up here that we haven't handled yet, I suppose. But we'll just continue to push into Algeria here. And we're really having no problem. They just joined the American Union, and we did take Algeria. They going to capitulate here? Or are they calling everyone in? The United States joined. Yikes! I was afraid of that. I was definitely afraid of that. Okay. Hello, pause menu. I guess we're going. Everybody's called in. Well, this is the big one. So we're going to forget about this army's orders, and we're going to tell them, go man this border with France. Your job is to offensive line, like, out over here or something. This is a terrible line. This is a truly terrible line, but something kind of like this is their job. Okay, other armies. This army, forget about this. Frontline over here. Now, these guys are part of the American Union. So, frontline over here, your job is to simply force them to capitulate. Like that. Okay. These guys, they're going to finish up Algeria. These guys are over here. Forget about that. Come on over and man the border against France. I want you to offensive line something like that for now. These guys are over here. These guys are over here. Yup. 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 Okay. So. This is a really awkward timing. No doubt about it. Really awkward indeed. But I mean, the US has been kind of spoiling for this fight. They're minus 100 opinion of us, and that's 75 of those is because we're at war. So I don't think it was anything to do with opinion. I think that this was just inevitable, that it was going to happen eventually, and the time happens to be now. So, what we're going to do is we're going to immediately cease recruitment of garrison units. In fact, we're just going to fully destroy that. Then, we're going to begin work on an infantry division and one of our armored divisions. Okay. We're going to recruit, say, 4 and 2 simultaneously. Otherwise, this is all going to manpower. We're going to keep this at 3. However, I'm going to bump this up like so. So this is currently at 13, 18, 23, 24. And we're going to do that. We're going to recruit all of our airborne divisions simultaneously. Yeah, that's going to hurt our current manpower. Our current manpower is going to be painful, no matter how we slice it. We've got a lot of work to do before we unpause, and that is going to be a job for next episode. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and next episode, we're going to see about trying to eliminate some of the American Union's holdings here. It's going to be interesting. See you all next time.